Then I'll start. Okay. What's up, everybody? I'm your local hero here with my co-host.
B1, aka the Alpha. Bring your problems to me.
I'm gonna need you to bring your problems out of the yelling, sir. You're yelling. Nobody here appreciates that. That that was terrible, and you should feel terrible. So we decided that we're done being like low class drunkards. We're done being college frat boys. We want to get sophisticated. So we decided to step into wine. I don't even have a wine glass. He got a wine glass. I don't have a wine glass. I got a Glencairn glass. I don't. This guy down here. See. Odd man out. Anyway, so we have us here a wine professional. We have us here a sommelier. We have us here a person who has taught me more about wine in the past few weeks than I ever thought that I ever wanted to know. Uh,
You uncultured bastard.
I wish there was something I could defend myself with, but there is none. There's no defending that. All right, we're here with Cellar Geek. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you guys?
I'm
No,
doing good.
It's a nice fall day here in Tennessee.
as you can hear, probably it's a nice windy day out here in Kansas.
It is a
Oh
windy
no, we
day.
we comfortable here in Southern Maryland. And do I look like a professional while I drink this? Hold on, look.
I think your pinky needs to go out a little bit more.
Yeah, just a little
There
bit.
we go. There we
There you
go.
go. Now you got it.
There you
Mm,
go.
there we go, guys. I'm gonna tell you this before we get into the interview. I'm gonna tell you this. This shit is dangerous.
It
It is
is.
dangerous. I damn near drank the whole bottle yesterday. I had to stop myself because I was like, "Hey, you still got a show tomorrow."
So,
So
hey, look, I just bought this bottle like 15 minutes ago, and I'm already halfway through it.
Oh my gosh.
I think I think we have a problem.
Oh, I ain't
I'm
got a
pretty sure
The only
we
problem
should
I got is that the bottle don't refill itself. That's the only problem I got.
we shouldn't be drinking this fast, should we?
I mean, do whatever you want to do.
But anyway, so let's get into your story. So how take us back to your wine voyage, your fantastic voyage. Rest in peace, Coolio. Um, let's get into how you got into wine.
Well,
Hold on,
I
hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, dude. The wind is.
Is it killing it?
I'm yeah. I'm gonna need you to tell Jesus to calm down.
Hey, I need him to calm down too.
And
Continue
please, when you
on.
lift the camera, when you lift the camera, bend over first and lift it. Don't put your pelvis in the screen no more. I'm telling you,
Hey,
I'm gonna uppercut you right in the stomach.
don't be upset. It's impressive. I know. Don't worry. You ain't got to be
Anyway,
jealous.
we talking about wine. How did you get into wine?
I started getting into wine to make money. I was a server in a restaurant, and I realized that if I could sell a bottle of wine to my table, it made the ticket price higher, and I got bigger tips. So I
Hmm.
was like, I need to learn about wine and liquor because I want to make more money. So at the time I was in college, I was studying chemistry and biology. So I say that because there was a lot of studying involved. I was very used to reading and studying and taking notes. So I got into reading about wines. I bought some wine books and I just had like a million questions. I didn't understand any of it. I didn't understand why a Cabernet Sauvignon from California is different from a Cabernet Sauvignon from France. Cabernet, the exact same thing. It was the exact same ingredient, but if it was from different places in the world, it was a totally different wine. That didn't make any sense to me. So I had all these questions, and so I kept buying books and reading and studying to learn more. That led into me not just needing to read the words about wine, but I had to taste the wine. So I started finding wine tastings in Nashville. I live about 30 minutes southeast of Nashville. And I started doing wine tastings in Nashville, really nice wine tastings. So they were like $10, $15 to get in, but they expected you to buy like a case of wine.
Oh, wow.
Everybody else at the tasting obviously was doing that. I was not. So I was the one that was asking very detailed questions of the winemakers, because all of a sudden I had somebody I could ask the questions to from me reading the books. I couldn't ask the books the questions I had. So I had somebody to ask. That led into one of those winemakers inviting me to come work for him. So I went and worked at his winery, which was actually located in Barossa Valley, Australia. So I went and lived in Australia and helped make wine for about 4 months or so. Came back and finished off in restaurants. When I ended doing restaurants, I got into doing what I do now, which is I manage private wine collections, like in people's homes.
Oh, wow.
So my largest collection is 10,000 bottles valued at about $5 million. It's the largest one that I manage. And I manage all the way down to, let's say I also buy wines for my dentist. And consumer, collecting them. So, I have a quite wide range of things that I do, but it's all wine related.
No, how did you say that the wine again? Cabaret what?
Cabernet.
Cabernet Sauvignon. It's the one that you drank the
Okay.
other day. You said you
It's
couldn't.
the one I'm drinking. Yeah, it's the one I'm drinking right now. Yeah.
What are y'all smoking?
Yeah.
I'm gonna light this guy up.
You know what? I'm not gonna lie to you. I was feeling lazy. I didn't even go to the lounge to grab a cigar. I'm just drinking.
I just happen to have this one laying around. I've got I'm smoking a Jackdaw by Blackbird.
This one is
Blackbird makes good cigars.
Industrial Cigar Company's House Stick.
Mm-hmm.
It's made by Principal Cigars, which is actually based here in Nashville. Industrial Cigar Company's down in Frisco, Texas. This is one of their shirts. It's a take on the gun or the cannon, but it's a cigar.
Oh man,
it's dope.
Yeah,
I like that.
Really cool people down there.
Now, because now I'm trying to get cultured, because we had you I had you on the live earlier. Then the bourbon guy came in. There was a lot of questions getting thrown around. So hold on. Let me
You got your questions?
I don't know. I'm about to check and see now.
Of course he don't. He's never prepared. He's never asked questions.
No, somebody was supposed to send me. Somebody's supposed to send me. They send me questions to ask. So let me see.
My question is there any one particular collection that you're proud of that you created for somebody?
So I manage collections. I don't make them. So these collections are already existing. They're what my clients have purchased over time and have built up. So imagine having like a junk room that it's too much to tackle. You've collected stuff piled in a room. You don't even want to tackle it. It's like out of sight, out of mind.
Okay.
Kind of like that with a wine cellar. Some of the cellars I get into are a little bit unruly. They've collected a lot over the years, but they haven't stopped to organize the whole thing and tidy it up.
Okay.
So organize all of it, evaluate it so they know how much to make sure insurance is covered, because Lord knows we don't want to have to pay for the insurance and then something happened and you don't get reimbursed. So I want to make sure they're covered.
Now, see, that's a new thing for me. I didn't know people actually got insurance on their collections.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you insure anything.
Absolutely. It's an investment like anything else. I mean, you would get a baseball card collection covered by insurance, a phone collection, your cigar collection could be covered by anything.
See, you learn something new every day.
Especially when you pay attention, you punk bitch.
Holy butt.
I know. Let me see. I'm trying to see if we got any wine questions. All right, so
He's actually my brother.
So question of the day.
Actually my little brother. Little man.
Question of the You can eat a buffet of dick, sir. So question. What cigars pair well with this wine that I got that I'm not gonna try to attempt to say?
The Cabernet Sauvignon?
Yes, that one.
Okay. So if I remember correctly, that one that you have is out of California. It's probably 14.5% alcohol. It's a big boy. California Cabernets are big wines. They're big and round. You have things called like Opus One, Screaming Eagle, Camus. Those are all big names coming out of California. They're very large Cabernet Sauvignons is what they sell. So you need to pair like with like. So if you're drinking a wine that's big and heavy, you need to pair it with a big and heavy cigar. So you're going to go probably medium plus to full body to pair with that. Would be a really good pairing. But on the opposite end, wine that always pairs with cigars that's not thought of a lot is champagne, cava, prosecco, anything bubbly and effervescent wine. And why that is when you smoke a cigar, those cigar oils sit on your tongue, on your palate. And when you drink something bubbly, it lifts that off. You're almost getting a secondary wave of flavors from your cigar. You get another hit of the flavor profile of your cigar. They pair great. If you ever want to go get like, Lamarco Prosecco or something from the store, drink that and pair it with like a Connecticut, a lighter cigar, so it just doesn't overwhelm it, and really taste and see how that compares. It's a really good pairing that you don't normally think of.
Champagne give me heartburn.
Take a Tums afterwards.
Life gives you heart
bubbles. It's the bubbles.
Your heart.
I'm pretty sure it's the bubbles. My brother, you want to take this shit outside?
I would, but it's too windy out there.
Anyway. Well, you're drinking what I'm drinking, of course, because you're a fucking copycat. So let me ask the expert, Cellargeek, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking Rattlesnake Zinfandel.
You got anything to do with Stone Cold?
No.
I've actually had that one before. I actually really like that one.
Oh, I actually had that one before. I like it.
Some people drink more than just beer and whiskey.
First of all, don't you ever disrespect beer because I only drink the finest craft beers, you son of a bitch. Secondly,
whatever you say, Bud Light, man.
I'll kill you. I'll kill you and everybody in your house. And secondly, I drink tequila as well.
This wine is $30. So just for a price point to be able to kind of know, how much I purchased the wine for. I'm $3 and under. Really look at the alcohol percentage. So if you're getting a red wine like a Cabernet Merlot, anything besides a Pinot Noir, if it's a California Pinot Noir, put it in the same category. But you're looking at 14 to 14% ABV or alcohol percentage. And I'm saying that because if you're going for a bargain bottle, you want to look at that because what they'll do with bargain bottles is they'll water the wine down. They'll add water to it. You're not getting a bang for your buck. So if you're grabbing a California cab and it shows that it's 12.5%, you're drinking water and you're not getting your value. So just look for that for what the varietal is. And then oh man, at least I'm getting the bang for my buck with this. You're not buying half a thing of water. So kind of keep an eye out for that when you go to Aldi's or anywhere and get like your value wines. Just look at that number.
That I did not know. Firstly, secondly, I am not buying wine from Aldi's.
There's some good wines at Aldi's. A lot of people do that. That's one of my common questions.
I buy my food at Aldi's. I'm not buying wine at Aldi's. I'm buying my wine at a liquor store that's going to put it in a brown paper bag so I can drink out of it like a goddamn gentleman.
Is that how gentlemen drink their wine?
All right, man.
In a bottle out of a brown paper bag. Yes.
All right, man.
There you go. You've learned something about wine. There you go. See, I've taught something. now, 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 how long have you been doing this?
Wines or cigars?
Let's go with wine. We're gonna get into cigars next.
Wine for probably about 15 years.
Okay.
Hey, so
So,
I got a question for you. Can wine be drank warm, or should it always be chilled before you drink it?
see, that's what I was gonna ask too.
Red wine should be drank at what's called room temperature. What most
Mm-hmm.
people don't understand about that statement is that's European room temperature, not hot Tennessee temperature or the US temperature. That's not the room temperature we're looking at. We're looking at, about 65 degrees. So you normally don't keep your house at 65 degrees. So you want it a little bit cool. And by doing that, what you're doing is you're lowering the alcohol taste. And so you're getting all the other aromas and flavors out of the wine. You're not just having that chemical alcohol taste. You're lowering that taste and increasing all the yummy flavors that you want out of the wine, basically.
Oh, okay.
All right.
White wine
Hey, B1, do me a favor.
is usually served too cold. White wine.
B1, do me a favor.
What's that?
Mute your mic real quick. Mute your mic. Yeah. That's you.
White wine that's served too cold mutes the flavors and the aromas, so you're not getting any of those flavors. That's why whenever I get a white wine from a restaurant and it's too cold, I hold it, I cup the glass so that I can warm the wine with my own body heat. Because it's a lot of times wines will come out just frigid cold and it's not enjoyable. It's just you're not getting any of the flavor profiles. And then on the opposite end with the red wine, if it gets a little bit too warm, like a Texas room heat, you're just going to get a lot of those alcohol flavors, and it's not going to be as enjoyable as it could be.
Now, one thing a lot of people don't know, I mean, tell me if I'm wrong. The reason for the stem on a wine glass is to hold it so that your hands don't warm the wine.
That is correct.
Guess what? I know something about wine.
We'll hold the wine by the stem, or sometimes I'll clip it on the bottom.
See, I'm not doing that, because if you just my luck, I'm gonna flip that cup. Oh, it's going everywhere.
Fuck them people
hold it at the bottom. I'll do that a lot if I'm at an event. I'm walking around or something, because holding it a long time like this will make my fingers get crampy. So I'll walk around with it clipped, and it's more comfortable for me to hold it that way.
Oh, okay. So let's get into the.
Because if you're you can't put the glass down. You have to walk around with the glass, and just like pinching it. I mean, you can't you're pinching the glass, and your fingers get tired after a while. So yeah.
I would set that shit inside of a piano and walk on by my business. So let's get into cigars. How long have you been smoking cigars?
Probably about 12 years now.
Okay. Now, what first got you into? I see. What first got you into cigars?
So I used to smoke cigarettes, and I had an idea that I really wanted to stop smoking cigarettes when I turned 30. I figured if I could stop smoking cigarettes at 30, my body could recuperate from all the terrible things that I did to it before then. So I started, the bar that I frequented had sold cigars, and then opened up a cigar lounge next door. So I started seeing the people that were smoking cigars. I was meeting them. I also really got to a point in my late 20s where I wanted to change the type of people that were around me. I didn't want to be surrounded by people that were still going out to the bars, drinking all night long, or were keeping their part-time jobs, or still living at home. I didn't want to be around that caliber of people. So I wanted to elevate who my surroundings were, and I really felt that in cigars. A lot of people that I saw smoking cigars were entrepreneurs, were people who owned their own businesses, people who were successful. And I thought if I could be around them, maybe some of that would rub off. I could learn from them and I could become better. So I kind of started migrating into smoking cigars, and then I really enjoyed it. I only smoked cigarettes, obviously, for the addiction factor of it. I'm stressed out, I'm driving, whatever, you would smoke a cigarette.
Mm-hmm.
Smoking cigars was completely different. That was a conversation. To light up a cigar and sit down, you're having a conversation. You don't have that association with cigarettes. You have short BS conversations, 5-10 minutes when you're finishing your smoke. With a cigar, you're sitting down, you're having a real conversation, you're learning things, you're debating something. It's a completely different environment. And I don't know, I really enjoyed it. I think it's also an age factor. You get older, you don't want to have those short moments. You want more meaningful moments. You want to learn from somebody else and grow. And it's just a different time in your life.
Right. I'm still just tripping on the fact that you said 30 and late 20s. Because I was going to say that you was like maybe 24, 25.
I'll take it.
So like, I'm just tripping on that. So with the cigars, like what type of cigars do you like?
Now
The
I
kind
like.
that you smoke.
Now I like.
There you go.
Okay.
I never smoked flavored cigars. That was never my jam. I figured if I wanted a flavor, I would eat that or drink that. If I wanted coffee, I would drink a cup of coffee with my cigar. I wanted my cigar to taste like tobacco. So the cigar I started out with was Perdomo Champagne Edition. That's what I would always.
Oh,
That's a good one.
While I
That's a
really
good one.
got into a Les Bijoux phase, I smoked Les
Oh,
Bijoux a lot.
those are great.
It was a great stick. Now the past maybe 4 years or so, I've really changed the way my gauges are that I smoke. I smoke a smaller gauge now. I really enjoy a Lancero, Corona, Petite Corona. I like that size smoke for me. But I still enjoy a medium plus full body stick, so it's very concentrated actually because it's a smaller gauge.
It's smaller, yeah.
And I don't know, that's kind of what I enjoy now. I enjoy the ICT house stick. It's definitely a staple for me. I keep, I buy a box and get them to ship it to me when we're not down there.
Okay.
The other one is
So me, DM me that information because I want to get in and try too.
yeah.
So DM me that information.
Oh, okay, yeah. They reposted my Instagram story about this on their page. They're really great guys. I love them. They're the owners and stuff are friends of ours now. Once you go in their lounge once, like you're not a stranger. You're part of their family. They're just fantastic people.
Oh, that's cool.
They're great. We've made so many friends through that lounge. I mean, we had one of them come to Nashville, like just a lounge person, somebody who's just a member, came to Nashville. And we were like, yeah, man, we'll meet up with you. So we drove up to Nashville and we hung out with them in a cigar lounge in Nashville. And, it's just, I think, and that's not unique particularly, right? The cigar community is just that way. It's just a community of smoking cigars.
Like, I mean, hell, just since we've been doing the podcast, we've, met up with a lot of people. Well, he has. I don't travel.
That's because you're a bitch and everybody knows it. I'll be in the city. I'll be like, hey, I'm in the city. Who here? They go, oh, I'm here, and then have some cigars, chill out. So or somebody hit me up like, hey, I'm in your area. And okay, let's meet up. So you don't get that with shit. Like you don't sit there and somebody traveling. They like, hey man, I'm in your city. Oh, okay, let's go stand outside of work and smoke a cigarette together. Let's go stand out. Let's stand outside the restaurant, have a quick smoke break for about 10 to 15 minutes, then we go our separate ways. Okay, cool. That doesn't happen.
No.
So we don't have that kind of camaraderie with cigarettes, obviously. But, with cigars and the wine world, there's a lot of similarities. There is camaraderie in the wine world. I've made friends through wine, not just nationwide, but overseas as well. I mean, I actually talked to one of my friends that's living in Australia that has made their own wine label, and he's sending me wine from Australia because we're going to see if some of my connections here with distributors could get his wines, distributed in the United States. But that's the community of wine. It's not just the purchasing and the storing and the collections and the drinking, but I've also now went to the other side of things when I worked in Australia with people who make winemakers, and fellow people who can sit around and drink wine and just completely geek out about wine. I mean, I loved it. That was my first geek out conversation when I was in Australia. I'll never forget it. I mean, I was sitting around, there were like 3 other people that I'd met. They're still friends of mine today. One of them is the one who's making his own wine now. And I brought up like a subject or a question about wine that was quite technical and geeky. And they all just jumped in on the conversation and knew exactly what I was talking about. And they had all these opinions. And I was like, you know what I'm talking about? You read the same books that I did. That's great.
That's always a good feeling.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, because you asked me, I'll be like, I have no idea what you're talking about, lady. And I appreciate if you stay out of my mind with that witchcraft.
But those other people, were also working at wineries as well. It's not like they were just somebody I randomly ran into. We had wine in common, but it's a great community as well. And I feel like the two could be a crossover. I think wine's underlooked a lot over how well it can pair with cigars. Wine can be intimidating. People can go, oh man, wine is really expensive, or it's a word that I don't understand, or I'm really confused when I go to a wine store to buy. I get overwhelmed. There's so many options. There's a lot of things that could hinder somebody from going out a branch and trying it.
I don't say like I try different ones, but man, there are a lot of them out there. There are a lot. Oh my God. It's like, hell, even when I went to go get this one, I was sitting there and I'm just like, oh man, I should grab this one too. And I should get this one. And I should get this one. No. I should get this one. Because there's so many different ones. And like you said earlier, you have the different types. So like, you have the rosés, you have the Sauvignon Blancs, stuff like that. But they're from different places.
Sure.
So it's like, I kind of want to try them all, but then it's like, damn, it's not enough time in a day to try them all.
It is.
It is. You don't. Whenever you buy that day, you don't have to drink that day.
No. Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Usually, if I open a bottle, I try to finish it within 3 days. After those 3 days, I think the taste to me, it just kind of starts to go down a little bit.
Well, what do you do with that bottle once you open it in those 3 days?
Usually after I recork it, I just kind of chill it. I'll sit it in the refrigerator.
That's great. That's exactly what you should do. And that wine should honestly last like 6 days like that.
No, I'm going to stick with
I put it in the refrigerator, I cork it, and I got a wine glass, and I'm sophisticated in it.
You know what, you giant pygmy? Let me tell you something. You leave me alone, all right?
I thought you and your wife were going to go get wine glasses yesterday.
No, we were, but no. We should have, but no. No. I'm going to tell you what happened. So we got to talking about bourbon. We got into a deep conversation about bourbon after you got off. And I looked up and it was like midnight. And I was like, oh, ain't getting nothing today.
See me? That's why I keep different types of glasses on hand. Because I never know what I want to drink. So I need to have a glass for that.
Boy Scout.
Yes, I am.
Anyway. So let me, so
Working on my
You've
wine.
been popping. Oh, you drinking your runs and bash? Yeah, work on eating the dick. So let me ask you a question. Um, hold on,
While
hold
he's
on.
thinking, I got a question for you.
Kendall,
What is the
hold on.
rarest
Kendall sent me
bottle
something.
you've seen so far?
I'm sorry. What did you say?
What is the rarest bottle you've seen so far?
Rarest I've seen. I've seen probably about maybe 8 bottles from the late 1800s.
Oh wow.
Wine from the late 1800s is a good rare find for sure.
Um,
That would probably be what I would consider in my rare category, but there's not one. There's several that I've had that's in the late 1800s. I drank a port from the late 1800s. I think it was 1870. I can't remember. I don't want to mess it up, but it's by Taylor Fladgate. It's called the Scion, and you can purchase it for a couple dollars. But yeah, I had somebody who opened up a bottle at a restaurant, and we polished the entire bottle off. They were
Oh wow.
very gracious. They brought this bottle to the restaurant, opened it up, and poured some for everybody. And everybody drank on that port, and it was fantastic. It was phenomenal. So I actually got to consume a wine that was made in the late 1800s. It was really great.
Now,
all right, so we got
I love that.
wow, we got a couple questions. One, have you ever done a champagne bong? And my goodness, it is a champagne bong. Who the fuck made this?
BONG?
So
Yep.
yeah, it's a champagne bong.
I've never heard of that.
I will send you pictures.
I want to say I saw somebody once show it. It seems sort of like the funnel situation you do with beer, but it's
but it got like a
you dump it all the way in. No,
then it comes
because
to
I'm not drinking wine in my 20s. I'm not trying to force wine down my throat.
All right, so here's the second question. Have you had to make Brad Sisters collection?
Have I what?
Had to make Brad Sisters collection. Hawks, Sparkling Brutes, Rosé.
No, but I recently saw somebody post that was available at World Market in the cans. So I need to go to World Market and try that wine.
Okay.
She posted a rave review about it. She said it was phenomenal. So, and that's saying a lot because wines in cans are really popular right now and up and coming. I personally have not found one that is really great. But I'm still in the hunt for it. I mean, I'm all for it. I'm pro wines in cans. I think it's a great idea and it's really cool. I just haven't found one that's really awesome.
I don't know how I feel about it.
I don't want wines. I need my wine in a bottle in case I get in an argument. I can crack somebody in the head with it, or I can just break it and then stab you with it. I need that type of protection in my life.
Well, it's the thing of, so you have a wine bottle, right? You have a cork in it. So that cork itself costs a winemaker $2 for a cork. And then you're paying for the graphic design, you're paying for the labels to be put on, and you're paying for the glass in the bottle. Then on top of that, you're paying for the shipping and the weight. Now, if you strip that stuff away, if you strip away the $2 for the cork, the shipping you are paying, because nobody's eating that cost, right? It always is passed down to the customer. You're paying for that shipping. So you're now purchasing your money value in this $30 bottle, like $10 of it's going into the packaging. So
I can't
pay $20 for just the juice inside, because that's what you're going to consume. That's kind of where the trend's going. So with a can, it's obviously very light. I think we all know how much an empty can weighs. It's almost nothing. It does.
Yeah, but you can't.
So
you can't bust nobody's head with an empty can.
Do what?
You can't bust nobody's head with the empty can. I need the empty bottle. I will pay that weight. I will pay that money to be able to hit this person below me in the head with a wine bottle.
I'll be honest with you. You're mainly alone at your house with your wife. Whenever you're on camera, are you planning on hitting your wife with the bottle? You're not around anybody.
Now, see, he wants to travel here and hit me with the bottle, but what he don't know is I already got bottles available. So
Okay,
When I see
so
him, it's on site. He know what
I
it
hate
means.
when he asks me. I hate when he asks me these questions because I can't pronounce any of this shit. The Mum Napa Cuvée V or the French Mum Cuvée M. Which one is better?
I haven't tried those side by side, so I couldn't tell you. I prefer a Blanc de Blanc's champagne, which
Okay.
means it's 100% Chardonnay. I think
Okay.
you meant to say Envy, non-vintage. It came off like Envy, like Mickey Mouse.
Hmm.
But so in actual champagne is from the region Champagne, France. And they have like strict rules with how you're able to make it. So there's only 3 varietals allowed in champagne. It's Chardonnay,
Hmm.
Pinot Noir, and Pinot Meunier, which is weird
Hmm.
because normally when you drink champagne, it looks white, right? It looks
Hmm.
clear. And
Right.
2 out of those 3 varietals are reds. It just means that they've had no skin contact. That's where you get the color from, is from the skin, that red skin color.
Hmm.
I prefer to have 100% Chardonnay, which is a Blanc de Blanc champagne. I think it's great. It's crisp. It's light. I love a high, bubbly, crisp champagne. It's fantastic. I also do enjoy Proseccos, are a great value.
I
I'm
like
not
the
a huge
Prosecco.
Cava fan. To me, they're a bit too.
B1, mute your mic.
Do what?
I'm not saying to mute it. I asked you a question to mute the mic. There we go. Now I can hear you. Go ahead. I don't know what's up with this microphone, but go ahead.
So the 3 main sparklings that you have are from Champagne, France. Then you have Cava and Prosecco. Prosecco is made in the exact same way that champagne is made in Champagne, France. So I enjoy
Hmm.
Prosecco. It's that light, crisp flavor. You also get a way better price value for Prosecco than champagne. Champagne can get quite expensive, hundreds of dollars
Yeah.
for a bottle.
Yeah.
Cava, a lot of people love Cava. That's from Spain. It's made in a different method than Method de Champenois. And to me, that method makes it a little bit more of a yeasty flavor, like a bread yeast smell to
Hmm.
it. That's personally not desirable for me. So I tend to shy away from Cavas. And then we have some great stuff coming out of California as well and other parts of the US, because the US is quite revolutionary when it comes to different methods and technology and how we're making stuff. You have the old
Toilet
world
wine, baby.
wines from France and Spain and whatnot. Those are called old world wines for a reason. They tend to stick to old ways of making wine.
Old traditions, yeah. Okay.
So, is there a
Go out and get.
specific flavor that you like to taste in your wines? So, like in the one that we're drinking right now, in the Cabernet Sauvignon, uh, I can taste blackberry, and I think that's mainly just because I'm not like a real huge fan of blackberry. And I can tell there is some cherry in there. I don't know if yeah, it might be black cherry, maybe vanilla, which I'm okay with those. But that blackberry. But is there a specific type of flavor you like to taste in your wines?
Dude, this is the biggest nerd you've been in a while. Shut the fuck up with these questions. Yes, ma'am. Answer, please.
He's showing you a whole new side of himself right now.
Okay.
No, because there's so many different flavor profiles and so many different kinds of wines I think are fantastic. It wouldn't be right for me to pick one flavor out. I mean, I absolutely love Rieslings. With Rieslings,
Hmm.
you have I love like a creme brulee flavor in Rieslings, nectarine. Then you have some great white wines that have like a fresh white peach flavor, maybe some citrus zest to it. It's really refreshing and brightening. And then you have sauternes, you have red wine, you have so many different kinds of wines. And within those categories, you have predominant flavor profiles of them. It would be hard for me to pick one flavor because I enjoy such a rainbow of different kind of wines that I just think are phenomenal. Not
Now,
just red
when it comes to champagne, right? does champagne have the reach or variety of a wine, or the champagne like you got this, 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 and that's it? But like which one has the more? What do I want to ask for? Which one has the more variations of it, wine or champagne?
Um, Champagne is one.
But
I
I
think
mean,
it's regular sparkling.
okay.
The most variety out of it. I mean, if I'm understanding your question correctly, I
See,
would.
I didn't. So let me take that question back because I didn't know champagne was wine. So I apologize to
Yeah.
I
all the
think what
wine
you're looking
drinkers.
for is what do you think has the broader range of flavors?
I mean,
Um.
I don't even think that's comparable because if it's under the category, then see, I didn't know there was a wine, so I apologize,
Well, no, yeah,
everybody.
and that's what I'm saying. Like, which type of wine has the broader range of
Okay,
flavors?
okay, yeah, yeah, okay. That's a
I
better
would.
question.
I
Thank
would
you.
say the broadest range of wines would have to be Rieslings.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's the only wine that has different stages of that wine. So Riesling, which is a grape varietal, the grape itself is called a Riesling grape. Out of Germany is normally where it comes from. So
Mm,
Riesling has a range. So you can have Riesling Spätlese. You have Spätlese, Auslese, Birnauslese, Trockenbirnauslese, and then you have Eiswein. Those are all the different categories of a Riesling. And that range of categories of Rieslings is done by sweetness.
mm,
So the cabinet would be the first stage of Riesling, which is a dry, semi-sweet Riesling. And then the
mm,
far end range of that is called an Eiswein, Eiswein. That is when you pick the grapes off of the vines when they're still frozen with gloves on. Now, to give you a range of what these grapes look like, if you buy grapes from your grocery store, they're nice and plump and firm and juicy, right? That would be your cabinets. That's what those grapes look like when they're harvested. When you get up
mm,
to Trockenbeer and Auslese grapes, exact same grape, except they look like they've been left in your refrigerator way too long. They're wrinkled up like a raisin and they have mold on them and they look disgusting and they look like you should throw them in the trash. That's the really expensive stuff, the really gross looking grapes versus the plump, yummy grapes. So it's the only wine in the world that has that kind of category range of a grape. No other grape does that.
mm,
It's only Riesling.
mm. I was gonna make a very bad joke, but I changed my mind on that.
That's
Um,
probably way too much information for you. I'm sorry.
no, 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 no. Yeah, because hey, like I said, I'm learning. So if anybody, all you wine drinkers, if you have a problem with what I'm saying, I need you to send all your DMs to B1. You can find me at
Really?
B1 on IG. Send it
Just
to
send them to
me,
me, huh?
B1, and send them right to me, and I will gladly answer them. Make sure B1, send it to B1. Okay, there we go. Let's get it out the way.
Look, I tell you to bring your problems to me, but that don't mean I'm gonna answer them.
So let me ask you a question because you're well traveled. So let me throw you for a loop right here. Let me put you
Okay.
on the spot.
Okay.
What is your favorite cigar lounge to pop into? And we're gonna take the one from Texas. We're gonna take that out because we know that's gonna be the winner. No, no,
Okay.
no. What you left with?
Okay.
hmm Yeah, she's thinking about this one. That was a good one.
Can I pick two?
Yeah, sure.
One's inside and one's outside.
Okay.
So the one outside is in New York City. It's the only place you
hmm
can smoke cigars outside. I believe it's called Paley Park.
Okay.
And so it's right in New York City, like proper. And it is the square footage of a high rise. It's right in between two high rises. It's about half
hmm
a block away from a subway stop and the Davidoff Lounge. So you can pop out of the subway, grab a stick at the Davidoff Lounge, walk half a block down, and walk into this park. that is a cigar park. The land is owned by the guy who runs Polina Cigars. And you walk in, it's beautiful. It has a waterfall on the back wall, cobblestone, iron tables and seats. If you walk in with a cigar and sit down, there'll be a guy that just appears from nowhere with an ashtray, cutter, lighter, and sits it down for you at the table.
That's me, actually. They pay me to stalk people.
I've personally witnessed him telling people off in that little park. If you're sitting there and somebody's smoking a cigar and you're going, I saw him walk up to that person and said, ma'am, this is a cigar smoking park. If you don't like it, you can get the fuck out.
We need more places like that.
That sounds like my type of park. That's my type.
We need more places. We need more places like that. Honestly, because when it's summertime, I like to smoke outside. We need more places like that.
We smoked cigars. Me and my husband smoked cigars with NYPD police because you had police officers stopping off for their cigar breaks, their union break. And
of course.
Yes. And so we smoked cigars with police officers there. We saw the guard, basically the guy that it's his park. Like he doesn't own it, but the guy's been working there for like 20 years. It's his park. He opens it every day, closes it every day. It's gated. And he walked up to somebody that had their foot propped up in the chair. He walked up to him and said, sir, you need to remove your foot from that chair. This is a place that's nice. And people sit there in that chair. And I don't want your dirty shoe leaving a mess on that chair. And some nice lady come by with their dress and sit down and leave a mark. Act right in my park. I mean, it was so cool. We witnessed this guy telling all these people this. But then, at the other end, you had complete school kids coming up on a trip to sit there like an art class and draw the back waterfall wall. I mean, it was just amazing. And you wouldn't even know it existed. You could walk right past it and not even realize it was there. Because you can't smoke anywhere in New York City.
No, you can't. Yeah, Chicago as well, no.
You can't do it. But there, you can. It's allowed because it's private property.
Okay.
So
we
that
gotta do that, B1.
And then the other one,
we do.
I believe, called Gentleman 1919 in Paris, France. So I found this place before we did a 3-week trip in Europe. So we made sure we had lounges everywhere we went. We got there. The guy recognized me from talking to him through Instagram and said hello to me. And then you go in and you have a small restaurant kind of area you can sit at and order proper food. And then you go in through these automated glass doors that open and close. And then it's this lounge area and they're really beautiful, leather seats. It was a beautiful lounge. You have McLarens and stuff outside on the street. It was obviously a high-end lounge. But it was really cool. The guy recognized me from our Instagram conversations, welcomed me in his lounge. I got to have some French food and then walk 5 feet that way and sit down and have a cigar. I mean, it was a great atmosphere. It was really cool.
Okay. So there you go, man. See, that's
outside of Industrial Cigar Company in Frisco.
Outside of this, yeah. That's why I be telling B1, you need to travel. You fucking hermit.
I will. Eventually.
I can suggest some great cigar lounges for you.
I'm still really debating on if I want to take this trip out to Texas this month.
Where in Texas would you go?
If I go, I would be going to Arlington.
What's
up to Quentin?
They play the Cowboys, so
Okay.
You say what's up to Q while you down there?
So
for sure.
You'd be close to Plano and Frisco, Texas.
See, I mean, out here in Kansas, I'm not that far from Texas anyway. So it's it's an 8-hour drive to Arlington from here. And I mean, I'm not opposed to driving. I actually just work too much. So I just need to.
You need to take some.
And just
take some time off, you punk bitch.
I do. I really do. I need to just be like, you know what? Nah, this weekend I'm heading out and just go.
Yeah, man. Just just sitting there, just go somewhere. Look, or you can just sit in the house and stay out your window and watch people walk by through your curtains
I
in the
got a
dark.
travel buddy now because I got a friend at work and she likes to travel. So, I can just be like, hey, road trip this weekend. Let's go. Like, get off work
Or
Friday morning and just hit the road. Like, fuck it.
there you go. Screenshot. What you need to do is you need to take your punk ass to fucking there's a lot of places you need to go, man. It's a lot of
I
places.
know. I mean,
It's a lot
I've
of
been
places.
putting it off. I've been putting it off, and I'm
A
not
lot of
gonna
places.
say next year. So I'm not gonna say 2023. What I think I'm gonna do. Everybody's hearing it here first. I think 2023. I'm not gonna do anything. I'm just gonna
If
work, save up money. Get everything together
see,
in
let me
2023.
tell you let me tell you the problem with that
2024 is
logic.
going to be my breakout year.
Let
I'm
me
gonna
tell you the
start
logic. Let me
getting the
tell you the
road
problem with that logic.
going.
Let me tell you the problem with that logic. You don't know if you're gonna see 2024. You better ball out while you here.
What you talking about? I manifest my destiny. I'm gonna see
That sounds good.
2024.
It
Tomorrow
sounds
is
good.
never promised.
I
Hey, it ain't
remember
gonna be fun. I'm gonna take it.
I was talking to my man's he runs the tender box. And and one of the guys was talking to, he's like, so you guys don't sell your cigars? No. What we saving them for? So you don't save them for special occasion? No. He's like, why not? Because you don't know what's gonna happen. He said, I went to this estate sale, bought this humidor full of great cigars off this woman for $75 because her husband passed. She didn't know what to do with them. He said, I don't want nobody smoking my cigars. He said, if I go today, guess what? They're gonna have nothing that in my humidor but matches and lighters. You gotta think about that, man. You gotta have fun while you can.
Nah, I mean I'm gonna have fun, but I'm gonna get it all together. And like I said, probably so maybe midway. So maybe the summer. Maybe I'll start around our birthday. So like
Well,
right
we do
around
have
our birthday, I'll
before
start hitting the
before that
road.
before that we have an invitation to Three Cigar Fest.
Well, see, there you go. I might just put something together and just eventually I'm
Charlotte.
gonna because before I do die, I want to go to the Netherlands.
Why do you want to
That
go
is
to the
what
Netherlands?
I want to go to the Netherlands.
Why?
Why?
Just because it looks beautiful. Like every picture I've ever
Okay.
seen in the Netherlands, it's like just amazing.
There's a
I
lot
would
of
have accept.
beautiful places other than the Netherlands.
I would have accepted that because I wanted to as well. Um,
I'm
my
trying
dumb
to go
ass.
to the Netherlands. I'm trying to go to Iceland, Greenland.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah. I went
hitting
to
every.
Iceland.
We
I went
just
to
going.
Iceland. And I don't like the cold. So why did I go? I don't know. Beautiful waterfalls. Beautiful waterfalls. A
Well,
bunch of
Iceland
places
is
I can't
great.
pronounce. And the worst smelling fish I've ever smelt in my fucking life there.
Which is weird
So
because Iceland is green and Greenland is ice.
so
It's fucking backwards.
yeah, but it's cold as shit.
No,
I don't want you to think it isn't. Uh, but yeah, so I mean, I don't. Do I have a place I want? I want to. If I could go anywhere. Oh, that's a good question. Now, if you could go anywhere and have your cigar, where would that place be?
I had a really great time in Italy. Italy is extremely cigar friendly.
Mhm.
really.
The entire country. I mean, we were in Venice, and there's a lot of like outdoor cafes, just
Mhm.
restaurants where they have seats and stuff in the outdoor part. And every single one of them like allows cigar smoking. You could sit and have a coffee, a meal, drinks, whatever, and smoke your cigar. It was completely okay. You saw old Italian guys walking around with their Toscanas smoking cigars, walking around,
Mhm.
and nobody blinks an eye.
Mhm.
Nobody wafts their hand. I mean, and you're walking in crowds. You're in close
Mhm.
proximity to other people. You're not like secluded, and nobody acts like anything's wrong. It's almost like even the tourists think, okay, But I'm in Italy, so it's okay. Like if you're here in the U.S., it's like they smell smoke the minute they see smoke. I mean, as fellow cigar smokers, how often you come across people complaining about cigar smoke, and you're like, "There's no way this is bothering you. You're way over there." But you get the
And the
complaint.
wind is blowing back this way. Yeah.
I don't care. Like if somebody like, well, your cigar smoke is bothering me. Suck it up, Buttercup. Like too
Oh, you
bad.
know what?
That
I
sounds
heard
old.
Germany's like that. I got a
Italy,
bunch of
it
German
didn't
friends
matter
in
in
Germany
Italy
like that
though.
too.
Like the Italians didn't care. They were completely acceptable because it was more. It's just more acceptable in general as a culture. The cigar smoking there, and then obviously Venice is very touristy, so there were a lot of tourists there as well, and nobody batted an eye. And I think it was because they figured, you let a lot of things go when you travel in other places, as in other countries. You go, oh, okay, well, it's the culture. I won't say
Yeah,
anything.
you can't argue with their customs. Yeah.
So I think
Yeah.
they also didn't say anything because they figured, oh, okay, well, I'm in Italy. It's the culture. But when they're here in the US, it's not it's the culture. It's you're killing my lungs. I'm going to die because of your secondhand smoke.
Yeah, they get the wine. They get the wine a lot. And yeah, like Germany, I heard is like that too. A lot of the Germans that I'm friends with, they're sitting at the restaurant. They just ate. They're smoking a cigar. They just had their coffee. They smoking a cigar. They walking down the street. They smoking a cigar. I
So
just think that
my question
this
is,
country is full of bitches.
yeah, pretty much. So as a sommelier, where would you want to go to drink wine? And you can't say Napa. Like what
I mean,
venue
what she say? There's a lot of
I
places
wouldn't say
besides Napa,
Napa.
though. Yeah, I see. There's a lot of places besides Napa.
Well, no, because like usually if I ask people who drink wine, I'd be like, well, what vineyard would you want to like visit? They're like, oh, Napa. Like seriously?
Well, that's because
What?
you're asking people who just drink wine. Like, you're not asking
Like,
people who know about wine.
like Napa is where you would want to go of all places? Really? All right, I guess.
I had a place that I wanted to go ever since I first started studying wine. I
Uh-huh.
remember studying about this place and fully imagining that I was there. That was one of the draws I had with learning about wines, was when the time that I was learning about them and reading the books, I didn't have any money. I was a server. I was struggling to make my rent check. Like I didn't make a lot of money at all. I was really living on like tuna cans and water. And when I read about these wines and these books, it was like I could imagine myself being there. I felt like it was a cheap vacation for me. I was being able to, in my mind, take that vacation because I didn't have the money to do it. So it really drew me to the romanticizing bit of wine. And one of those places was Germany.
Mm.
One of the books, it mentioned about the wineries and the vineyards and drinking German Riesling, and you would come across a little cottage that like a mom or an auntie's cooking in, and they're cooking hearty beef stews, like German stews that are very hearty food, and Rieslings are paired with that. And I thought that was so cool to think of walking down like this road to this little cottage with smoke coming out the top. And you
That
going
would
in
be
and
cool.
some like mom or grandma's in the kitchen making up this like traditional food that's maybe been passed down for generations, and then
That,
drinking
that
some
would
like
be cool.
wine. It seemed like such a cool scenario for me. I would love that.
Nah, yeah,
As you
that sounds like that would actually be a really great trip. That would really
as
be
you
cool.
was as you was describing that story, reading Rainbow theme song popped in my head. So just so you know, as you said that, as you were
Reading
speaking, butterflies in the
Rainbow.
sky. I was like, yeah, yeah, I can see that.
But
If I go to Germany though, I'm going
I
for the
had
beer,
some
baby.
great places in Italy that I had wine at. I really enjoyed Italy. Obviously, I love pasta. I love handmade pasta, and everywhere's hand making pasta. They're not doing anything like from frozen. It's all freshly made. They're all like
Okay.
family owned and stuff. I went to one where this old lady was making handmade pasta in the middle of the dining room because obviously they were working out of a small kitchen. It
Right.
was so cool. And I just love that whole atmosphere, you know. They were
It,
just so open over there. It was really, really, really great.
see, like a lot of people don't understand when I tell them, like, if I walk into a restaurant, right? Even here in the States, if I walk into a restaurant and there's old people in the kitchen, I don't worry about the food. I know that food's gonna be amazing.
That's a lie. That is a lie. There's a lot of old people that can't
Never,
cook.
I've
There's a
never
lot
been
of
no
old people
person
that can't
like an
cook.
old.
It
I've
is a
never been a
lot
restaurant
of old
where
people
I
that
walk
can't
in
cook.
and there's an
And
old
you're the
woman
reason they
and
can't
the
cook.
food is
You're the
amazing.
reason they can't cook because you get this fucking notion in their head that they can cook. When I go to a restaurant, I look for the potato salad arm. You know the potato salad arm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The turkey arm with that little bit of elbow. That's what I look for. They got the turkey on with a little bit of elbow. I know they can cook. I don't know. Not all old people can cook. That's a lie. That's a myth that we need to kill right now.
Look,
So let
I'm
me.
just saying, every restaurant I've ever been into where there's been like an old woman in the kitchen cooking, the food has been great.
Yeah.
I've
Every
never
restaurant
had
I've been
bad
with, there's been an
experience.
old woman in the kitchen cooking. It took 7 hours to get the meal. Get her a
I'm
walker or
okay with
something.
that
Get her some
though.
skates. She need to
I'm
speed the
okay
fuck up.
with
I'm
that.
hungry.
I will wait
That's
that
all I'm
7 hours.
saying.
I ain't that hungry. Like it's worth the
I
wait.
am. I am. It's not, and I am.
Well,
So
that's
let me ask you two more
reasonable.
questions. You shut your goddamn mouth. Now let me ask you two more questions before
Okay.
we get out of here. These are the questions we ask everybody. Well, actually, one of these questions is new because you drink wine. If you could drink wine with anybody in history, who would it be and why? And the same thing for the cigar. If you could smoke a cigar with anybody in history, who would it be and why? So let's go wine first.
Hmm. That's tough. Anyone in wine in history. If it would be somebody that's associated with wine, like to hear their
Just in
wine
general.
stories,
Okay.
would probably be Nicole Ponsardine, which Nicole Ponsardine was the person who made Veuve Clicquot,
Oh,
which is
okay.
quite common. A lot of people see Veuve Clicquot in the
Yeah, I
orange.
see that all the time. Yeah.
So Veuve means widow. So she was a widow. So Nicole Ponsardine was quite a G back in the day with like some really boss moves that she made in the champagne industry. She really invented the way that we make champagne. During the French Revolution, that's where sabering a bottle of champagne originated in Champagne, France. I think hearing just her self motivation to be able to get where she did in business, being a widow, losing her husband would be a really inspirational story. And I feel, I mean,
Mm.
she never took on another husband after her husband died. There were rumors of boyfriends that were never confirmed, but she was really like a standalone woman that was like,
Even if
I'm
she,
gonna make this happen.
oh, bees like, okay, so bees like wine apparently. Get away from my wine.
And when you
Son of a bitch.
open a bottle of Veuve Clicquot, the top cap on the cork, that picture is her,
Hmm.
and that's her only portrait she ever had done of herself.
Okay. So you said she never took on another husband or boyfriend.
Nope,
So
she
did
was all
she?
about
Did
business.
she?
She was just working.
So so did she create the? Zzz, did she? I don't know what they used back.
Hey, fuck. Hey, fuck it. We getting canceled anyway. Did she create the vibrator?
I think she
We
was
outvoted.
quite the business lady, and I think if there
Nobody is too busy.
well, I don't think she had any problem with men. I think she
I'm sure she
probably had
didn't.
a lot of boyfriends. She just
Okay,
never
all right.
married again. She wasn't
Okay,
without male escorts. She just never married.
okay.
She wanted
Look,
to stay single and mingle.
Look,
She's
if you being
she's made.
creative, I'm just saying I want to say thank you because it's been a part of a couple things that I've done, and I'm not mad at it. I'm
Good
not
dude.
even mad at it.
All right,
Fuck
so
it.
let's go with the cigar.
Cigar.
Again, it's anybody. It's not just a specific person in the cigar world. It's anybody.
What? What? No, you know better.
I always find myself holding this glass. When I see this is different. When I'm drinking wine out this, I always find myself with my pinky out. When I'm drinking bourbon, it's always tucked in. I don't know why. I just looked at myself and noticed that. I don't know why. But okay, we back to the cigar question. I'm sorry.
Probably just a super famous person I think of when I think of cigars is Winston Churchill. I got
Look, hold
this.
on, hold on. Mute your mic.
He's so loud. It's so loud. I
Fighting
don't
with the
know what
damn
he's
dog.
doing this loud.
He's fighting with the dog. But go ahead.
When we visited London, we went to James Fox Cigar Lounge, and in the basement, you were able to see the actual leather chair that Winston Churchill would sit in and order his cigars. So I think it'd be really cool, like to sit down and smoke cigars with Winston Churchill, and I feel like he's a guy that would have like a ton of stories. He could probably talk a lot of cool stories about history and stuff.
I can see that too. I heard him. He used to smoke a lot of cigars per day.
He
It's like
did.
7, 8,
Yeah.
around that 7, 8, 9, 10, something around there. Him and George Burns was neck and neck with the cigars per day.
Burns. You know,
I don't understand how do you smoke that? Like the most for me is maybe the most is 5, and that's pushing it. My average is 2, 3.
my top end's probably 4. Yeah. And my fourth one's one that I fit in during breakfast. Like a lunch or a breakfast cigar, like with some coffee.
Mm-hmm.
I can do 3 at night. Like once you're sitting down, like in a lounge, having conversations, bourbon, wine, whatever, I can pop 3 sticks off pretty easy.
The only reason I do 3 is because I'm always on live with MJ and them. That's why I started getting the lunatics and the asylums to try to last me and keep me from smoking all my other cigars.
You know, smoking a cigar with somebody that's living, who I didn't want to mention because I feel like there's still a possibility. They're still alive. Would be no, it'd be 3. So you've got Michael Jordan,
Okay.
avid cigar smoker. He's got some stories.
Mm-hmm.
Steve Harvey.
I got a couple stories about Michael Jordan as well. But go ahead. Steve Harvey.
Michael Jordan, Steve Harvey, and what's his name? The Shining.
Jack Nicholson.
There you go, Jack Nicholson. Another avid.
Let me say something. You would be lucky because you're a female, so Mike would be nice to you. But
I do hear he's a bit rough on most people.
Oh no, Mike is an asshole, and I'm saying that as somebody who's met and talked with Mike, he's an asshole. Most greats are assholes. I'm an asshole, but the level in which the level of assholery in that man is at a whole nother level. So yeah, that man. Yeah.
See, anyway. Most people who are from Chicago will have a totally different opinion of Michael Jordan than people who aren't from Chicago.
Especially if you met him. I respect him.
Especially if you met him.
If you talk to Mike, you're not going to doubt the fact that he's an asshole.
You'd be like, don't get me wrong, you still one of the greatest. You still the greatest basketball player out there. You still a GOAT, but you an asshole.
Can you see that?
A big one. Big one.
You see that?
I do.
Like, as I'm smoking, it's like something sticky's come out the tip. Like the tar or something. I've never had that happen before.
Don't you dare. I know where you're going with it. Don't you dare.
Right out of the tip.
Don't you dare.
The tip, right there. The tip.
I can hear the joke forming. I can hear the joke forming in his mind right now.
That is officially what she said. Okay. Uh, okay. I'm
Oh,
I'm holding. I'm about to. I'm holding everything in because I'm about my. Okay.
fuck. Hey, that's like
Okay.
a
Okay. Hold on.
fastball. That's like a fastball right down the middle.
Okay.
You
All
just
right.
wild
Okay.
ball.
Okay.
That's a good sound clip.
Oh yeah, that's gonna clip. Okay. All right. Okay. I recovered. I was nice. I just gave us. I gave her a quick one.
Oh,
What?
shit.
Oh. I mean that.
I can't
We
lie.
finna
My
get up
first
out of here.
response when she said that was, I'm sorry. Sometimes I get a little overexcited.
So we're gonna get up out of here. All right. No, if you already know. You already know if you follow us, she's a constant in the lives. She's always answering questions for idiots like me. And she's always answering questions for snooty, tooty, artsy, fartsy motherfuckers like this guy right here.
Hey, look.
There's been some people in the lives with really detailed questions.
Yeah, yeah. Kendall being one of them. So tell the people what it.
Can I
Oh,
show you,
Kendall, bless his heart.
can I show you so far what I've done to this bottle?
Sure.
Oh no, I'm done. I'm done. That shit's done. That's done. This bottle down.
Yeah,
Man down.
he empty.
Yeah, man down.
Mine's not
Tell the,
empty, but also it's not opened.
Well, see,
uh,
the bad thing about mine is I literally opened this bottle 10 minutes before we started recording.
Let's see if
I'm
you can see
done.
it. Can you see it on camera? You can't really see it. So
Yeah.
it's at this level right here. So I use what's called a Coravin. It's where you can get a needle in the cork and pull wine out without ever opening the bottle.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's what I did.
Oh, I gotta get one of those.
Yeah. So it's a pump. So the needle goes right through the top, and then as you pull wine out, you can put in argon gas, which is what's already the air part in wine. It preserves it.
Okay.
I'm flying out in the morning, so I didn't want to open a whole bottle, so I just Coravined out a glass for the live.
There we go. See, she know, man. Look, but all right.
That's why
Tell the people where to reach. Tell the people
You
where
can
to
reach
reach you
me
at.
at Thecellargeek. I'm on Instagram quite a lot. That's my main
Mm-hmm.
platform. I have a website, Facebook page. You can DM me for any wine questions. I'm open to anything. No question's a dumb question. Ask me anything. More than
Yeah,
happy
they
to.
are.
Yeah, I don't say
They're
don't let
stupid questions.
you. There are a lot of dumb questions out there.
Go ahead and ask them. It's cool.
I get asked them on a daily basis.
So, also, if you guys want to catch her, 9 out of 10, she's on our live asking us very interesting questions.
I do like to
she'll
get
pop in.
some interesting questions.
We like to, so she podcast.
What?
Podcast.
The podcast.
Yeah, what about the podcast?
You.
Me?
You.
I haven't started mine yet. I got my microphone here.
That's all you need.
You know what? I've got everything that I need. I've got my boom. I've got my boom arm. I've got my microphones. You know where all of it is? It's in my closet.
It is. Only thing I use is my stand with the light on it. That's the only thing I use in the phone. But, ladies and gentlemen,
I'll be starting a live soon. So I'll do a live show that'll stream on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. And then after that, I will take the audio from that live and I'll post it as a podcast.
That's what I do on Spotify. Yeah, that's what we do on Spotify.
Well, let me know. I will definitely watch it. Like, I love everything about wine.
If
I'm not
if
dedicated
if
enough to become a
if you
sommelier,
ever if
but
you ever pop up if you ever pop up in our lives, you punk bitch, you would know her, you punk bitch.
you know what? Some of us work at 11:30 at night, so
They
kiss
they
my
think
ass.
He does them during the day too.
they think Ken bro is the
I'm
host.
getting sleep.
He on there so
Oh,
much.
Ken. I would
They
think
think
that Ken is your co-host. Actually, I would
Ken,
think
Ken
that.
is our Ken is our designer slash engineer
Ken's
slash voice of
Ken's
region voice
a
of reason.
sweet guy. Yeah, but my
Don't don't
my
don't,
show
don't believe
my
that.
show that
He's
I'll
not.
be doing will be wine education, but not like the boring kind. I'll be talking about the stuff that made me interested in wine. So it'll be about wine scandals over time. There's a lot of scandals.
Okay.
Oh,
The cool
Okay.
gossip
That sounds real
over
interesting.
the centuries. Um, just a lot of cool wine facts and stuff. And then I will also be inserting certain episodes dedicated to cigars. So
See,
smoky
I'm
cigars,
interested.
pairing cigars with wine as well. So
All right, that's
hey,
great.
yeah.
We finna get up out of here, but remember, guys, next month's giveaway, it might be cocaine. We don't know yet. We don't know yet. As always, I'm your local hero,
AKA Alton.
reminding you to blow your smoke like a goddamn gentleman and wine drinker, you son of a bitches. We out.
Yeah.
bye.
I
Man,
drank too much. I drank way too much.
I probably did too.